Well, hello, everyone. This is crazy. I did remember to unmute my mic twice in a row after that snafu where everyone got ear-piercing silence for a minute and a half as I talked to myself. But this is the Missing Lynx post-game live stream podcast thing, bonus episode, because Elle Mohs from WoMN in Sports and WCCO decided, what the heck, might as well talk Lynx.
I mean, we're just talking Lynx constantly on text, so we might as well carry the conversation to a larger audience.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I sent you like the outline for what I wanted to talk about today. First off, we tore that entire outline up and we're going to just do our own thing because Lan and the Lynx decided to make news. But yeah, basically everything we were going to talk about is just what we've been texting about the last 2 weeks and might as well put it on a podcast, right?
Right. Let's do it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think first we'll address kind of the awkward thing that happened today where Lan doing a charity event, Australian basketball thing, got asked, one, feel like it's faux pas to ask athletes about their upcoming free agency when they're like doing charity events. But Lan was asked, just kind of what are the plans? How involved are you going to be? What is the new CBA? And the last question she got asked was some sort, I don't have the exact words in front of me, but like, where do you see yourself going? Or do you see yourself returning to a different team? Lan kind of laughed it off as he was asking the question, as I think Lan is very good at doing. And then her full quote is, I mean, I'm open to any opportunity. Like I said, I think it's about best fit. And I loved Minnesota, but a lot of teams are looking different this year. So I think I'd be doing a disservice to myself if I wasn't exploring other opportunities. Before we get too far into it, Elle, just what are your thoughts on journalistic integrity and also just that quote as a whole?
Yeah, I mean, it's frustrating because we are, given a lot of red tape on what we can ask when we go to these charity events, but at the same time, like, so that's sometimes your only opportunity. And I'm guessing in Australia, like, they get to see her so rarely that they probably are just like, screw it, I'm going to ask whatever I can, even if I get yelled at later. So journalistically, definitely a faux pas and like not the right time, but I also get why you got to do what you got to do. And man, was that a surprising answer. I really did not see that one coming just because I know how much she loves this team, the players, they're actually like true friends. And I think she has a great relationship with Cheryl. And I think what worries me too is, just as well as I do, like Lan is so well spoken. Like she she never minces words. And I'm always impressed that in like these heat of the moment press conferences, post game, during the playoffs, high emotions, and she always like is so well spoken and just says like the perfect soundbite. And so I'm just really surprised that she said that and gave away so much to what's in her what's her plan, because she kind of like lit a dumpster on fire a little bit.
I mean,
I'm shocked.
Yeah, I after that clip started circulating, I think his Twitter username is Fork King, put it out there first. He sent me like the full interview of it, listen to the full interview of it. Like there's not a ton of like context to be gleaned from it. It's a reporter asking her on the phone, like, what is the new CBA? Like, are you excited to be a free agent? Like, are you going to choose like, just kind of generic questions. And I think Lan answered all of them pretty well of like, she's never been in an opportunity to choose where she wants to go. It's always kind of been, hey, you're going to Indiana, you're going to Chicago, you're going to the Lynx. I think that last answer, I'm torn because part of me is in the same place as you where it's like, Lan is a psychology major. I don't think anything she says like comes out of her mouth without thoughts, but also it's like if she changed the word loved from past sense to present sense love, I don't think it's a big issue. I think it's literally just like one word changed would have changed the entire thought, like kind of the entire like reception of that thing. If she was like, I love Minnesota, but I'm going to check all of my options, I think people are like, oh, okay, cool. I think it's just the past tense that has freaked a lot of
Yeah.
people out. And
Yep.
that's where it's like, if that was Courtney that said it, I think I'd be like, yeah, okay, Court. Like, she mixes up words all the time. Like, that's just Court. With Lan, it is weird, right? That if that's a slip up, that it would even be a slip up, because Lan has kind of like perfected the whole media thing.
She really has. And, I don't know how much to take it. Like, I looked at her bio right away after I saw that clip, and she did remove Minnesota Lynx from her Instagram bio, which is something you and I and many others noticed about Bridget Carlton when the expansion draft was coming up. And so there's just a lot of signs there that scare me. I don't know, maybe she got a taste of, playing with all these different players in Unrivaled that made her excited to explore her chemistry with a different team.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing I will say is, like, if Lan did decide to leave, like, Fee's going to be injured to start off the season. We don't know what this team's going to look like. I mean, we could try not to read into anything. We could try to read into everything, but like, if they find out that AZ Fudd is going first overall, do they go Awa Famron or Lauren Betts, and then Lan's kind of a placeholder, if you will? MB adds he doesn't know if the links were ever in her bio, just her profile picture. I'm going to be honest, I don't look at Instagram enough. I just rely on a group chat that I'm in to be like, here is what happened.
Yeah, I don't know how much you want to take that whole like weight to the bio, but it always it's
always interesting.
Yeah.
What I was also going to say is just like, you never know. Like, Lan could be in a position where like she doesn't want to play center anymore. People have been kind of linking her back to Indiana and photoshopping her into Valkyrie's uniforms. I mean, maybe she does just want a fresh start with a fresh team and live in California. Like, you never know what these people's motives are. I will say, on the flip side of that, like, the Lynx literally last night reposted like a highlight film of Lan. So it's like, I do think I would still put it in the like very surprised category if Lan doesn't end up re-signing in Minnesota. Where are you at, though?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think my head is at like that. I don't know. I took the comment really seriously. I don't know why. I just was like, okay, she's moved on. She's checked out. And I'm like trying to like just emotionally part ways and just be like, okay, like the reality is that she might not come back, which is crazy, which is really hard because she's such a great defensive player. And with Fee being out, Masha being traded, we're losing a lot of height. And that is really concerning for the season ahead.
Yeah, it is. And again, Fee, I think if we're looking at best case scenario, like they listed her out 4 to 6 months at like beginning of December, 6 months. The long side of that, maybe they were factoring in both ankles. That puts her out until June. I mean, ankles are weird, so who knows when she'll actually be back. But like, yeah, if Fee's out and Lan doesn't re-sign, then I think they almost are kind of forced into drafting a big. Like, you'd hate to say that you're drafting for need as a championship contender, but like the amount of bigs in free agency is already drying up just with qualifying offers.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I feel like you have to do Lauren Betts at that point.
Which again, like that's the part where this offseason's so weird, because also Jessica Shepard is a free agent. Dorka had her like online on WNBA thing switched from deferred to active, which doesn't really mean anything, but
Mm-hmm.
it means that she's not 100% deferred this season. I mean, if she had already said, I'm not coming back, they would have just reset it and switched it to what it's supposed to be at. Like, maybe there's those two coming back and they plan on drafting a big and there's just not a spot for Lan. I will say again, like, just seeing how Cheryl's defense has worked the last 2 years, like losing Lan is kind of like losing everything for that defense. Like everything gets put like baseline or out of bounds lines and then filtered into Lan, and Lan cleans everything up, which like that's going to be tough. Like if you're losing that type of player and then Fee's not in there, like this defense could be bad, to be honest.
Yeah, we're not short for words there. Trash.
Yeah, it's not going to be good.
Yeah, it's not. No, yeah, it's definitely. Yeah, I think you're right with like the past tense loved. A little scary.
Yeah. Again, I will put my point out there still. I still feel pretty confident that Lan is going to be the second highest paid player on the Lynx next year, and that this is just either a slip up of words or she really wants to go see what else is out there and, get flown to every state in the country and get free, really nice, expensive dinners and folders and custom jerseys and everything else these teams give to players when they're trying to woo them. But I think what's interesting is that I think Lan's going to be one of the later dominoes to drop now, though. Like, I think it's going to be like Saturday opens up and all of the news comes out on like Fee, K-Mac, Court, T, Dejanay, everyone else. And then Lan's maybe lags a little bit just because if she wants to explore everything, like she's not going to be in a rush. Like everyone's going to want to add her to their team.
Right.
Cheryl just says Lan's offense was so negligent in the last two postseasons. She was benched last postseason game. Ben adds on that he thinks Lan was hurt in the postseason. And most of last, I'll be honest, like Lan, I think is one of those players you can just kind of throw in there's always something like that she's battling through. I think she takes such a beating. Elle, any last thoughts on Lan before we transition on into less bad news?
My only last thought was this event that she spoke at. I think her sister was being recognized, and she reposted a picture of her sister, and I truly, genuinely thought it was a throwback photo of Lan in her awkward teen years. And I couldn't believe the resemblance. It was crazy. And their names are super similar too. It's like, I'm blanking. Like Ollie, I don't know. It starts with an A.
It's like Ollie or Allie or something.
Yeah, I don't know. It just like I was like, whoa, Lan has a little sis who's her mini me. Had no idea. So those are my final thoughts, which is has nothing to do with
hey, nothing wrong with that. Mary Beth asked in the chat, could Cheryl first Ben says Andy. Hey, twins.
Andy, there we go. Andy.
Mary Beth says, could Cheryl have told her they're thinking bets? Like, possibly. I will say I don't think Cheryl's a beat around the bush type of GM. I think she's probably a this is what we're thinking and you can plan accordingly type of person. I will be honest, and we're going to get into draft in a little bit here after some other news that came out today. I would still I would still say our fam is probably the number one player they're looking at. 19 years old, 6'5", shoots threes, really athletic. Like that is just like a lump of clay that you could mold into anything at this point. Totally. And then I just really like Fudd. I know she didn't have a good tournament, but I just see a K-Mac clone in Fudd, and like as K-Mac transitions into a different era of her career over the next 3 or 4 years, to just have that heir apparent guard to pair with Fee already on the team, I think is just valuable, which people can argue with me and say Betts is the better player, the better prospect, all of that stuff. Completely not going to argue with anyone, but just me personally, I think that's the way they'll lean. I guess we'll just get into draft now. Like, where are you sitting at with it, with their number 2 overall?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, Betts had such a stinking good tournament that I was just like, man, I feel like if she's still available at number 2, you have to. But at the same time, like if you look at all of our guards, like they're all on the veteran end. And so I just think I love the idea of a FUD because of the investment long term and the value that she would bring down the road. Yeah, and like some of the mock drafts I've been seeing, like Betts is much lower, like obviously still in the first round, but like, you know, lower on the like maybe like number 7 or 8, which shocks me. I don't think she'll last that long, but yeah, well, I mean, it just, I guess we'll have to see, because when I saw this video of Lan, the first thing I thought was, okay, well then you got to draft Lauren Betts. So that's kind of where I'm at.
Ben mentions Fam's comparison as Malunga from the Storm. Like, honestly, that is the comp, is like you could just have a 20-year-old that guns threes and super athletic and is like 6'6" by the time she finishes growing, and then you just have that next to Fee for the next decade. Betts, and again, I am a flawed college basketball watcher. I covered the Gophers this year, so the only players that I watched any part of were players that were going to be playing the Gophers. Betts played the Gophers twice. I think there's a lot more like flaws to Betts going into the pro game. Like, she isn't the most athletic. She doesn't have a ton of like shooting range. Really good rebounder, like really good like defensive rotation presence, really good at getting putbacks. But like the Lynx would almost have to like pivot their offense back to like a Sylvia Fowles type offense where like you're just going with this dominant post player.
Yeah.
Because the way they're set up now, it's like spread pace, everyone's cutting.
Yes.
It would
That's
just
a really good point.
It'd be a big pivot. I mean, what are your kind of, again, that's where I go with FUD too, is just like, it's such an easy fit that like my lizard brain is just like, oh yeah, that makes sense. But
yeah,
I'm also not playing 4-dimensional chess like Cheryl is.
Right. And you have to remember that, like, you know, the last 2 drafts that I covered, I talked with Carly Knox beforehand, and she just would always say that the biggest thing that they care about in the draft is they care so much about the culture that this person will bring to the team, which is why I think we've seen some kind of like rogue picks in the last few years, because Cheryl knows, like, I don't need Angel Reese and her big personality coming in here and throwing off the chemistry of this team. I don't care how good she is. I don't care about her height. I need someone who's going to fit the culture of the Lynx. Like, they prioritize culture so high. And so that throws things off a little bit, because like you could say like, okay, FUD is like such an obvious pick. But if like it's not the right chemistry, culture, personality wise that they're looking for, that like that could be just like a hard no for them, which I think is it shocks sometimes the fans.
Which, like, I mean, conspiracy theory, like FUD does have a podcast. Like, there is going to be a lot more attention on her. Whereas Betts is just kind of Lauren Betts.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of like, you know, what is it? The opuse dispose. There's not a lot of like op-eds on Betts. It's just kind of like, yeah, she's really good center. Like, awesome.
Right. Like, so I'm a huge RuPaul's Drag Race fan, and Lauren Betts was actually in an episode of Drag Race. It's the only time I've seen her do anything that's like pop culture that has nothing to do with basketball besides like TikTok. And I don't know, like, she clearly is just like, you know, that by participating in that show, and it was a pretty like vocal statement on where she stands as far as like the support of that community. And
Yeah.
I think she's not like one of these. I mean, obviously she's getting a lot of attention right now because of being a NCAA champion, but yeah, she's not in every single ad. She's not in these Capital One commercials and these progressive commercials, and Geico, I think, is the one that AZ Fudd's doing. I don't know. But like AZ Fudd is everywhere. She has a
Yeah.
podcast, she has all these commercial deals, and I just feel like Cheryl likes people who are more low key. And that's why I think AZ Fudd will not get drafted by the Lynx, just because she doesn't like the flash.
That's fair. I mean, literally, I have no notes. Like, they traded away the Van Lith pick to Chicago because of some of that aforementioned flash. Yes, they got like Katie?
Yeah.
Carly Samuelson. That's who it was. Carly Samuelson. Katie's with Seattle, allegedly for now. But like, that does kind of track, because like Ola is a very serious 19-year-old. Like, that is someone that there's probably not a lot going on in their life outside of basketball. Not trying to like limit Ola as a person or anything like that, but like, just the few times I got to talk to her, she is like, I play basketball. This is what I will do. Alyssa Peely was like very involved in like the Native American community, and also kind of the same. Like, I am just very serious about basketball. Hannah mentions Cheryl loves Court and T being themselves and doesn't get flashier than that. I think that is an exception to the rule. Court and Cheryl have a relationship that is like nothing I've ever seen in sports. Like, it is, they are the most polar opposite human beings, I think, on the planet, but they get along famously. So that also came like after they were both under contract. I don't know. I just don't put
I was going to say,
that.
if they were the stud buds pre-Lynx, I think it would have been different. Like, because the stud buds were born from the Lynx, Cheryl is all about it. But she wouldn't have, I think she would have honestly, truly been turned off by the flash if it happened pre-Lynx.
I also, conspiracy theory, think that if Star City just says AZ isn't a prima donna, she's just famous for being a superstar with UConn, teammates with Paige. Fair. I'm going to be honest. I don't pretend to know her as well as a person. I don't really know, like, Angel was a prima donna. I don't know if Haley Van Lith is a prima donna. I just know, like, in the draft, that was kind of a narrative after Cheryl passed on them, was just like, hey, we want people that aren't going to bring outside of stuff. What I was going to say is I truly believe, like, if the Lynx didn't have the regular season that they had last year, that stud buds would have been shut down pretty quick. Like, it's already getting kind of lost to history, but like, the Lynx were like the most dominant regular season team in the history of basketball before Fee got injured. Like, I think if they had slipped or started losing games or issues started arising, like, stud buds wouldn't be where it is right now. Like, it's easy to tolerate that stuff when you're winning games by like 30.
Right. And just to add, like, I think AZ Fudd is so cool and badass, and I would love if she was on the Lynx. Like, I don't think these players are prima donnas. I just think, like, just the notoriety that they carry, which is in many cases not their fault. Like, I would take the commercial deal too if I had a big name. They're paying for their lifestyle and they deserve it. It's just, I'm just saying, like, the commercialization of these players is something that I think is a bit of a turnoff to the Lynx organization. Like, even Fee, like Fee is like Queen Fee, like, she is the queen, but she is so subdued. Like, there's something about her, like, yes, she has deals with like the Jordan brand and all that, but she's just so mellow and laid back and very, I don't know. I feel like she's very picky on what she's gonna endorse.
She stands up when she needs to, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like she
Mm-hmm.
always stands up for like social justice, gender
Mm-hmm.
rights, like LGBTQ equality. Like
Mm-hmm.
she stands up for things that matter to her. But other than that, she's just like a mom.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. Right.
like there's it's kind of like I've never seen someone with, I mean, that's kind of a lie. Like I compare cross NBA, WNBA. I know that's faux pas, but like Tim Duncan is who I always kind of like. Sure, Tim Duncan had shoe deals, but like Tim Duncan was just the most laid back, like graceful
Mm-hmm.
NBA superstar of the 2000s when everyone else was getting rap CDs and like kind of blowing out their personalities, pretty similar to like the WNBA right now. Tim Duncan was just collecting checks,
Yep.
doing his job, being really good at it. And that's
Mm-hmm.
kind of the same vibe Fee has, is it's just this like
100%.
sense of like grace and elegance in everything she does. But then also she's just kind of like over there doing her own thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. She's the perfect player for Cheryl, I think.
Yeah, she really is.
Speaking of Fee, we did get that update today that they did
Mm-hmm.
extend the core qualifying offer to Fee. I would assume that gets accepted and they work on getting that super max. I'm going to be honest, all of these different qualifying offers, I like am still semi in the lost with them. The main thing I understand from the core is that Fee is going to get paid a lot more money, one, and two, you know, they can't offer another core salary contract until Fee's core salary cap would be like over. So it
Right.
kind of gives them like the here is our one centerpiece type of player. Elle, I guess any thoughts on Fee getting cored? I don't know. It was the most like
Yeah.
non-news
Obvious.
thing that happened.
Yeah. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all. Like as soon as I read about the Supermax deals and the CBA, I'm like, okay, well that goes to Fee. Um, but yeah, I was a little like, you can please help me understand like why was Jaylyn Sherrod like tied to that?
So Sherrod is a little bit different because she hadn't, which Ben adds core is like the franchise tag in NFL talk. Yes. Yep. So basically Fee can sign a 1-year deal and then leave next year as an unrestricted free agent, or she can sign like the core max and get paid a ton of money. Jaylyn Sherrod got a restricted qualifying offers. She has under 3 years of WNBA service. So it's kind of like a restricted free agent in any other sport where,
Mm,
you know, she signs the qualifying offer. If a different team offers her X amount of dollars, the Lynx will have the right to match it. Or Jaylyn can just decide to be like, hey, I'm going to be on this team for 1 year and then test the waters. Be honest, I really like the Jaylyn Sherrod one, though. Like,
yeah.
she's
I
a
want to
really
see
good
more of
player.
her. Yeah, I want to see more of her for sure. Yeah.
I feel like anytime a player leaves a situation, like Jaylyn leaves New York and then everyone's like pretty upset that Jaylyn signed with the Lynx, like that's usually a good sign for a player that you're bringing in. And she
Mm-hmm.
just seems like a hooper. Like
Mm-hmm.
it super smart from the few times I talked to her, like really good feel for the game, wants to be good, wanted
Mm-hmm.
to be potentially drafted by the Lynx out of Colorado. Like, I think it's just kind of a no-brainer if you're looking at like a third guard on this team to just go get someone that knows how to get buckets and has been here, right?
Totally. Yep. Yep. I agree. Do you know what the latest is with like Cam Taylor? Like, where does is she still in the Lynx roster pool at all?
She, since they didn't do a qualifying offer to her, she's just a straight unrestricted
Mm-hmm.
unless they decide to qualify her in the next like few hours here. But I also like Cam Taylor, you know, got like a training camp invite this last year, got a
Mm-hmm.
training camp invite 2 years ago. Terry Horseman's favorite player in the league, I believe. Like, I don't think there's going to be a lot of interest from teams like maybe giving her like one of those developmental spots, but like I don't
Yeah.
think there's going to be a lot of interest to like pay her.
Yeah.
She's another one though. Like if she came back, like great, the bench vibes, like
Hmm.
super fun to talk to. Like I'd take Cam Taylor back too.
Totally. Same here.
Yeah. I suppose though I did want to, or at least I put on the addendum. Angel Reese gets traded for 2 first-round picks. Like, is this the biggest victory lap of Cheryl's career, or like where do we rank this one?
Oh my God. It's just like it's revealing how much of a mess the Sky organization is. I think my biggest shock with everything was like, I guess I'm not surprised Angel left just because of
Yeah.
all the commentary last year, getting suspended for what she said about the team, and we knew she wasn't happy. But like to trade with Atlanta and not get any of their talent in return was really surprising to me. Like, I don't know. Like that team, the Dream has like a lot of great unrestricted free agents right now. And I'm
Yeah.
just surprised that they didn't take any of that talent in this deal.
Especially like 2 first-round picks that are going to be like at the end of the first round because they now have like 4 of the best young players in the league on their team. Like
Hmm.
they're not going to be good picks.
Right.
And then, I mean, Ben adds the crazy thing is they didn't even request, like Angel didn't even reportedly request a trade.
Yes, I saw that too. That shocked me as well. That like allegedly shouldn't request this.
Yeah.
It's a weird move when like that was kind of your like your big name in 2024.
Which is also like Ghost adds the dream we're playing basketball inside a food truck. I mean, kind of. Uh that is kind of like the crazy thing of like her going to Atlanta is the stadium only seats like 3,500 people. Like I don't
Hmm.
know what Atlanta's going to do with this either. Like obviously if Chicago calls you and is like, "Hey, we're trading you Angel Reese for 2 first-round picks." You just say yes and figure it out, but like it is wild that that team is I mean, they probably are going to be like the best team in the East this year. Maybe New York gives them a run for it, but like even from their perspective, like what are they going to do now?
I know, I know. I did see somewhere that they are having, I think, at least 8 of their games in the NBA stadium this year. Um,
Okay, good.
yeah, which is
That
a whole
that
lot more than
should
the
be
Sky.
ballooned up to all of them, but
Yeah, yeah,
8's better than
agreed.
none.
Yeah, I think the
Ugh.
Sky has like 2 in United Center.
Which that's the like it's just crazy that like I understand that the dream, used to be wherever the Hawks play, State Farm Arena or whatever it's
Hmm.
called now. Like I get that they were there and they didn't bring in attendance and like the arena was like, "Hey, we can get more revenue from a concert than a dream game." But then it's like after last year where they were playing playoff games in front of like 4,000 people, like man, they gotta figure that out. Like that's something that I'm like legitimately like just
100%.
more irritated about than anything else is just like, man, so many more people could go watch that team play. And with Angel
Hmm.
there now, it's gonna be insane.
100%.
Yeah,
100%. Yeah,
I hope they figure something out, I should say.
yeah, we get so spoiled here in Minnesota because we see the standard set and you just
Yeah.
assume it's the same everywhere else. So when you find out it's not, you're shocked.
I
Um,
mean that I know the Connecticut thing is also kind of a hot button thing because they kind of got stolen and are being
mhm,
brought to Houston, but like that's another one where it's just like I don't know, you guys were making it to like finals and you're playing in like I don't not much better than like a
mhm,
YMCA. Like if you're not gonna like promote and support the team like it kind of should be at this
mhm.
point, just I don't know, Denver, move a team to Denver like that.
Literally.
You love it.
Yeah.
Um, Sean just asked real quick, have we heard if Court and T will be back? I have not heard that they will be back officially. However, all of the season ticket stuff has Court in it, and I believe they just had like a river party, Court and T, not the Lynx. And all of the like promotional material for that had them in Lynx jerseys. So would be weird if 3 days from now they both leave the Lynx after kind of mounting the entire season ticket package on Court, K-Mac, and Fee.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw us over to a quick ad. When we get back, though, we'll blind rank some players and their likelihood to come back to the Lynx. Then we'll get out of here so you can go do anything else. Well, hello. Thank you, Livestream Andrew. This is Ad Read Andrew. And today we have Firehawk Construction and Remodeling, the presenting sponsor for the Missing Lynx podcast. Firehawk Construction and Remodeling strives to inspire people to follow their ideas, working with respect and understanding to create a quality, tailored result. Firehawk Construction and Remodeling, located in Blaine and serving in the North Metro area, is here to help you with your building and remodeling needs. I can say personally, thanks to Firehawk Construction and Remodeling, I have a beautiful deck in my backyard and countless projects that I started, they finished. Get started on your new deck or remodel today by calling Isaac at 763-710-5686. And we're back with another ad read, this time for Pence Homes, the presenting sponsor of Hitting the Hardwood Network. From the best tools and technology to transparency throughout the entire process, Nate Pence and the Pence Homes team is the top choice for buyers, sellers, and is proud to support you and your home ownership goals. Get started today by calling 612-308-1122 or by emailing info@pencehomes.com. Okay, so I'm panic doing math here. So we have Lynx as free agents that we don't know what they're doing yet officially. Napheesa Collier, Kayla McBride, Courtney Williams, Alanna Smith, Jessica Shepard, Natisha Heidemann, Dejanay Carrington, Sherrod, I think I'm going to take off this list because I think she's coming back with that offer. Ola Kosu, and Cam Taylor, and that's it. So that's what? 13 names? That sounded like 13 names.
And we're not putting Dorka on this list?
You know what? Let's put Dorka on that list too.
Okay.
Yeah, let's throw Dorka on it because I think that makes sense because she's up in the air. We're going to just TikTok trend it where I will just say a name and you, based off of the percentage of confidence in your gut, rank them 1 through 14, 1 being they are the most surefire coming back, 14 being there's no chance they're coming back. And I will keep track in case you're like, oh God, there's too many numbers.
Okay, I'm scared. Let's do it.
I mean, this is one of the things that was on the addendum, and I did not panic. So
I know. I'm prepared, but like I don't know. I hope I'm not, I don't know. I'm an indecisive person by nature, and so
that's fine. It makes it so much better when people are indecisive, because if you were like, this is what I believe, this segment would be over in 3 minutes and we'd have nothing to talk about. So let's start off somewhere. Let's start off with Jessica Shepard.
Okay. I think she's returning. Okay. But I'm not like super duper 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 confident. So I'd put her at like a 6.
Okay. That's fair.
Yeah.
So Shep, you have as the 6th spot.
Yeah, I think Cheryl is obsessed with her workhorse attitude. She has that culture we were talking about where she's super low key. She's all business. She's here to play basketball. And
I do think too, like, if we're going to read into the land thing, like Shep is probably a starting center in this league. And like Shep does make a lot of sense in that starting lineup. Like, I think even if they did draft Fam or Betts, like Shep still starts the season if she returns as a starter. Yeah, and like we saw last year, like triple double off the bench, like she can get it done having a good off season. I I don't think I would have her quite as likely to return, but that's just because like I think someone's going to give her an insane amount of money. I don't know who it
That's
is,
fair.
but I think
That's fair.
someone's just going to be like, here's $850,000 to play
Yeah.
for insert team. Maybe
I will,
Chicago.
yeah, I will say she's like on my people who I feel like I think are truly returning. She's the lowest on my list.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's why I put her at 6.
Ben, as I was saying that, types in the sky. Yep, the sky. That's the team. Okay, so we have Shep. Let's go Kayla McBride.
Number 1.
Number 1.
Mm-hmm. I'm like,
okay.
I bet all my money on her return.
That would be the plot twist of the century. If she is here for a Gophers game sitting next to Waylon, Fee, Cheryl, Carly, Waylon, Banham, all of them in like a box with them. And then she's just like, see, I'm going back to the Aces. That would be like, I don't know what I'd be able to do.
Yeah, no. I mean, the fact that she went to a bar of their own for the Sweet 16 game and like didn't show up there for like a stunt or a promotion or anything. Like she truly was just like, I want a beer and some wings and to watch this game because I'm invested. And then I talked to her off camera because she's not doing like media until she's signed. And I just was chatting with her and she was just talking. She was like, I feel like this is my team. Like I love Minnesota. I'm invested. I'm a Minnesota girl. She said, quote, I'm a Minnesota girl. So I'm pocketing that and running with it.
I would be all caps shocked if K-Mac doesn't return and then eventually retire here. Like,
yeah,
one from like a legacy standpoint, like if she wins a ring, her jersey's getting retired. Like,
yeah,
it's gonna happen. And then 2, it's just like I do legitimately think you're right. Like she just loves it here. Like
she loves it here. Yeah,
she could be in Pennsylvania, she could be in Italy right now. Like she could be anywhere. She's choosing to be in like, yeah. It snowed a few days ago.
Yeah,
Like,
she's choosing
why
to
would
be
someone
here at the
choose
worst
to
time
be
of
here
year.
right now?
Yeah, yeah.
Wild.
She's our girl. She's our girl.
Let's go down the list a little bit. Dejanay Carrington.
I think the Lynx will do whatever they can to keep her, but she's someone who I don't trust will return.
Okay.
So I'm putting. I don't know what's our number ranking.
1 is the most trust that you'll be back. 13 or 14, whatever I decided, is the least trust that she'll be back.
Okay, I'm putting her sadly at 13.
Oh wow. Okay.
I don't want that. I want her
No,
to
I'm
return.
not. I'm not wowing because like I just
don't trust that she'll return.
I don't know enough about her.
Yeah.
Like I feel like everyone else on the team, I kind of know where their head sits a little bit just from talking to them for 2 consecutive years, every opportunity. Like, you know, I just don't know where she's at. Like, she's a brilliant basketball player. She's tough as nails. Seems like a really good person. I don't know anything about like what her motives might be, which she didn't really choose to get traded to Dallas. So I'm not going to sit here and say like she wants to be the best player on a bad team, but yeah, interesting. DeMarc says, I'm a Minnesota girl, brought actual tears to their eyes. So have made one person cry today. That was the over under. Whoever betted that on Kelsey, you can go cash that one out. Okay. So Dejanay you have at 13. Let's just go Cam Taylor. Let's get Terry's favorite out of the way and know that he will be fighting mad if it's not a good ranking.
I'm gonna say like 5. Yeah, because I still have space for 3 players that I think are ahead of her. So I'm gonna say 5.
Okay. I don't think she's going to get a ton of offers elsewhere. So like if
Yeah.
there's a roster spot, makes sense for her to come back.
Yep.
Also, we're 45 minutes into this, so thank you for going along with me. But I also want to just say, every podcast from now until the draft, I will be making a public plea for Amaya Battle to get drafted by the Lynx.
Oh,
So that is my public plea for right now is,
I want it
Cheryl,
to
what are you
be
going to do with that second round pick anyways? Like Carly, Cheryl, if you're listening, like, why not? Bring the Minnesota
yes.
kid in.
I want it to be like when Kate Martin got drafted and she was
Yeah.
like sitting in the audience, like not at a table, and she was shocked and she was like, oh, yeah, and her whole team like freaked out, like all the Hawkeyes. I want that moment for Amaya.
I just like, man, just we don't have a second round pick. We have a third round pick then, don't we? Yeah, there we go. The last pick in the draft. Last pick of the draft. Just Amaya Battle. Like,
yep, let's do it. Let's go.
Give her a training camp invite. Like, kid is tough as nails. I have a feeling we're going to be hearing from her at some point in the next decade. Like, if she chooses to play basketball, she will find a way to have an impact on a WNBA team. That kid's just insanely driven. Okay, that concludes our 45 seconds of Cheryl or Carly just draft a Maya Battle. Okay, so Cam Taylor, we got Napheesa Heidemann.
4.
Okay. Dorka Juhas.
7.
Okay.
After Jess.
I mean, I suppose we should just get the Napheesa Collier of it out of the way.
Yeah, I think she's number 2 right outside of K-Mac. I mean, I put them both at number 1 if I could.
Yeah. I mean, that's another one where it's like, I think everyone else, I could see a path where it's like, maybe they get a deal with someone else. Fee is like, I would be stunned if Fee signed someplace else. Like, I hang up my WNBA reporting on that one. I'm just like, I was that wrong. Let's see here. Alanna Smith.
Gosh, well, before this video, it was a lot higher. But she, I don't know. I really parted ways with her comments. Like I was really sad about that. So at this moment in time, I'm going to go with 9.
Okay. Courtney Williams.
3.
How did I count so many more players and I'm already out of players? We're not going to do Ola. Shep Sherrod, we did. Cam Taylor. Masha, we can't do.
I think 14 was too many, but
I think we are at a magic number of 10, and that feels about right.
Okay, so Dejanay is my last.
So Dejanay, I'm deleting all of the numbers I made up in my head. So your rankings of most likely, gut feeling, confidence they will return: K-Mac, Fee, Court, T, Cam Taylor, Shep, Dorka, Lan, Dejanay.
Yep.
I think
I agree with that. Hearing it back, I'm confident with that answer.
I still feel quite a bit of confidence around Lan, which could certainly just be, me just being irrationally confident.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would still have Lan I think I would put her up to 4. Okay. I would have K-Mac, Fee, and Court. I feel really good about coming back.
Same.
Like, I just think there's way too many tea leaves. There's way too much promotional material out there. Like, if you're selling season tickets on Courtney Williams and she doesn't come back, like that's a weird organizational decision. I still think she'll go shop around and then she'll end up back here. Yeah. I think the only other one I would change is like, I think I would have Shep as my last one.
Okay.
And that's just, I just think someone's going to pay her. Like, and to be honest, like, if you get the bag, like, by all means, go to Golden State, go to like wherever you can get that bag. But like, I just think once you have K-Mac, Fee, Court, Lan, if possible, and T locked up under contract, like money's going to be a little sparse. And I think someone's going to just be like, here's a boatload of cash.
Yeah, and she should take it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, she deserves it.
Like, absolutely. Like, Jessica Shepard has worked way too hard not to take a boatload of cash. I think the only like the battle I have in my head with like Dejanay and Jess is Cap's expected to jump up again next off season. Like, do you sign a 1-year deal? Like for Jess, like you get to be a starter without fee for half the season, and could you boost your value? If you're Dejanay, could you start in BC's place, boost your value that way, and then hit free agency next year and cash out even bigger? Like, maybe, but that's just, as a risk adverse person, that's a lot of, I don't think I have that much self-confidence.
Yeah. I mean, I got rid of my agent for a reason. Like I don't know how to, like, these numbers I'm trying to like understand on my own, and it's very difficult. Like, I don't know. It's a lot.
Inside Elle's world, her agent is fired. My agent is still whatever my wife kind of lets me do on the side of my real job.
Well, I got rid of an agent because I didn't want to pay anyone extra. And now I'm like, these numbers and the risk and what do you take? I don't know. It's a lot. It's scary. But so I don't know. I'm giving way too much insight that I shouldn't be.
We all know your agent status. Elle, I do want you to promote your lovely podcast though before we get out of here, and then also plug anything else you have going on, but love your podcast, so please promote
thank you.
Post that, shout that out.
Yeah. Women in Sports, which is a weekly segment on WCCO. I highlight an athlete, a coach, someone who's growing the game on TV in a story. We've transferred that branding over to the podcast world where we can have more in-depth conversations. And we've had a variety of athletes and coaches and power players. I took the show on the road and interviewed Rachel Banham and Fee's husband, Alex Bazell, in Miami when they were doing Unrivaled in the off season. So we've had some great combos, which you can check out. It drops every Wednesday, a new episode. And so tomorrow I interviewed Leah B. Olson, and we all know her, been a long time analyst for Wolves and Lynx, but this year she's taking her talents to the league at large. She's working for the USA Network. And I asked her, I said, so are we losing you on Lynx games? And she said, absolutely not. I'm going to keep it half and half. So the USA Network will be double headers on Wednesdays. And then she'll come back and do as many Lynx games as she can, like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, if they're at home or away, I guess. They do stuff in studio as well. So we're not losing her for Lynx fans listening. But I'm just happy for her that she's going to be taking her talents to a larger audience. She totally deserves it. But Minneapolis native, former Gopher women's basketball player. We have a great conversation about just like her backstory. And we also have a talk about free agency and what she thinks is going to happen with this new Lynx season ahead, and how much the roster will be blown up or not blown up. So yeah, tune in tomorrow to hear her thoughts.
Leah is like one of my favorite people. Like, she's just always so kind, like always super nice, like behind the scenes, awesome, like person. When she told me that she was getting like the Women's Wednesday on USA Network, I was like ecstatic for her. But then immediately the next question out of my mouth was like, wait, so like what happens?
We don't lose you, do we?
Right. Like the selfish side of me came out immediately, and it transitioned into like, hey, so like you're still around, right? Did she happen to spoil? Because I don't know who she's doing broadcasts with. Did she say anything about who her partner in crime is going to be?
Well, there's like a team that's been posted on Instagram of who she's going to be with.
Oh, I meant for the Lynx.
Oh, for the Lynx. Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think it's sweet that she's going to be with like Tamika Catchings. for USA Network.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
She's going to have a blast, and she's going to be good at it. Like, that's probably the more important thing is like, for people that are, I know I have like a large Wolves crossover of like people that listen to these podcasts and stuff. Like, she is like a Grady equivalent. Like, the fact that she's been doing Lynx stuff for so long and nothing national is kind of just surreal. That happy she's going to be staying part-time with the Lynx, but I don't know how many seasons that'll last. She's awesome. Elle,
she does. Sorry, one last thing about that convo. She gets into it more, but she talks about that. Like, her career was at this trajectory. She had signed a contract with ESPN. She was going national, and then she became a mom, and everything crashed. And I just, as someone who's about to be a mom myself, like, it's just such a relatable conversation, because I'm like, your plans can be derailed. How do you get back on track? And she talks a lot about that, and it was really inspirational.
So we're not going to end it right now, because I think that's like such an underrated thing, is like, it is very hard, I think, to be a woman in media, just like from a guy's perspective that is just kind of been in a woman dominated field. I'm air quoting for people who are listening. Like, I'm a nurse. Like, the last 11 years of my life, I've been a nurse. I've worked in facilities. I've done home care. I've done case managing. And like, it is like an 80% women career field. And to go from like that type of career where you are kind of the minority as a male in healthcare into like the sports side of like journalism, it is like just things you'd never think about. Is just like, yeah, if someone has a kid and has like postpartum, their career might just be gone, because there's so much competition to get that career. And then it's hard to be a woman in this gig, because like, you know, you guys have families and kids and responsibilities.
Yeah. Like, I look at some of the people I admire. I'm just like, for sure, Leah B. Olson, but like a Holly Rowe. Holly Rowe is always everywhere, always working. The woman must live out of a suitcase. And I know she has a son who's older, so she can make that work. But like, how do you make it work when you have a newborn? And it's just, it makes me sad how this career is really difficult to navigate when you are a new mom, or a mom with young kids. And I just think Leah got lucky that she was able to keep her talents locally for so long and thrive in that. And now she's getting this opportunity to go bigger, which she was originally given a long time ago. So she's getting that second chance, and it's beyond deserved and long overdue. But it gives me hope, and it should give other young parents hope that if you have to take a pause, it doesn't mean you're out of the game.
Which, like, I kind of focused it on the women's side. Like, I will also say, like, John Krasinski for the Wolves is at everything and has like 2 kids and is still somehow at like every sporting event that they do. Like, I don't know how parents do it in general, because
me either.
I just have dogs, and like, they stress me out enough. Yeah, but I can like feed them once a day and not pay attention to them for 10 hours while I'm doing stuff. Like, parents in general, and especially like in this career field where it's so like time demanding, I think more than anything else, like, shout out to you guys, because woof, been an eye-opening thing, going from like a very in need career field mostly dominated by women to a very competitive career field that's mostly dominated by men. Okay, that's enough soapboxing today, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Elle, thank you so much for doing this. Anyone who has stuck through the soapbox portion of this podcast and wants to catch the actual portion where there's like news and stuff, does get posted up on YouTube and X as soon as I end stream. It will be up tomorrow, Wednesday at 7 a.m. as a podcast. Go listen to Women in Sports first, though, because like Rachel B. Olson, Leah B. Olson, that's going to be awesome tomorrow. Thanks everyone for listening. I'm going to be back on in like 3 hours doing Wolves stuff. So I'll see you guys soon.